Hi, my name is Roederer, and I'm a product director at USAA. I want to welcome you to this Pillar Deployment Retreat. USAA is excited to be the presenting sponsor for this retreat, and we're thankful for all that you do for our service members. I myself am a veteran. I retired after 24 years in the Army. During my time, I did have one deployment. I deployed in the 90s to Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And I remember when I came home after that was over, and talking with my wife about all that she'd been through, taking care of our son, who was about a year old, taking care of paying bills. She was quite the trooper. We were supposed to be PCSing back to the States from Germany, where we were assigned, and we already had orders. We'd already started to move when Operation Desert Shield kicked in, and I got deployed for that. But they actually let her go ahead and move, and she moved our entire family, our household goods, all of our belongings back to the States, to where my next assignment was supposed to be. And then I joined her afterwards. But imagine going through all of that, doing a PCS on top of that while deploying. Point is, we understand that you all go through a lot, and we thank you for that, for your service to our service members. I want to talk to you a little bit today about some of the stuff that we provide for you to try to help during these times. I mean, when you're going through a deployment or getting ready to go through a deployment, there's a lot going on, so much going on. You're trying to keep up with all the things that need to be prepared and done before your loved one leaves. Yet at the same time, you want to spend a lot of time with them before they leave. And it's all adding up, just the weight, the burden. And so we want to try to help you with that, just to give you some things to think about while you're going through this. For example, we have a page that's dedicated to a deployment for our service members. And at the top of that page is a checklist. And that checklist just walks you through things you need to be thinking about. Because again, there's so much on your mind right now as you're going through this, as you're getting ready for this. And things are just going to slip your mind. You're not going to be able to remember it all, retain it all, with all of the emotion that's going on during this time. And so we just want to give you some things, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Walking you through your financial planning, your auto insurance, legal documentation, all the things that should be considered. On this page, we also have a calculator that after you ask a few questions about am I going to receive family separation pay? Is the member going to receive some kind of hardship pay? Whatever they're going to receive, they can answer just a few questions. And then what this calculator provides is a total sum based on the length of the deployment of how much money will be received from this deployment over and above your normal military pay and allowances. So then at the bottom of that, there's just some little advice and things to think about. What are you going to do with this money? Whether that's putting some away, taking care of some of the bills, reducing some of your debt. Just give you some things to think about as you go through. There's discussion on this page about life insurance policies. So it's really just meant to be there for you, helping to provide some education, some things to think about as you're going through these troubling times. If you happen to be a member of USAA, the checklist that I referred to is more personalizable. You can go in and you can answer some very specific questions about your deployment situation, and it'll give you a customized checklist where you can go in and you can check things off as you complete them, just to help you kind of keep track of things as you're going through the checklist. But we say frequently here at USA, we know what it means to serve. There's so many of us who are veterans among the employees of USAA, and our hearts go out to you during these times when you are dealing with the absence of your loved one. Things were much different when I went through this in terms of communication, being able to communicate with loved ones. I mean, thankfully, we are in a day and age where you have that ability to more frequently, in many cases, more frequently interact with your loved one. While I'm talking about this with the deployment page I mentioned to you is encapsulated within an entire military life experience. And what we try to do, currently it's set up at 4 very distinct touch points. One of those touch points is a deployment, which we're talking about here. Another one of those touch points is when you go through a military move or a permanent change of station or PCS, however you know it. And again, there's things you need to be thinking about as you're about to move your family from one place to another. So there's some different advice, education within a checklist for that. Leaving the military, whether your loved one is separating or retiring from the military, there's things that need to be thought about as you're making that huge leap from being in the military, where your loved one is told what to wear, when to show up, what time to be, what's happening today. All of that information, all that situation changes as you become a civilian. What are you going to do for a job? So we have a lot of tools and education that we want to provide you as you think about these other events in your life, in your military life. And one I'm excited to share about, we don't even have it out there within our experience yet, but we're working on it. And since I'm talking to a group of spouses, I'm really excited to share with you that, we never presume to know what it's like from the spouse's perspective. The active duty person knows what it takes to get moved, to go through a deployment, kind of know what it means to leave. But throughout all of this, there's special challenges for the spouse. We've already interviewed about 15 or 16 currently serving spouses. Some of them were USA employees, some of them were not. Some of us, through friendships and our networking, we've been able to interview some spouses that were not currently USA employees. And we've learned so much from talking to these spouses. And there's going to come a point where we're going to, hopefully next year, have another piece of our military life experience devoted solely to spouses. And the spouses we've shared, we've learned stories about spouses who, one spouse we talked to, their family PCS to Alaska, and then her husband was immediately sent away. I forget if it was a school or deployment, but he was immediately sent away. And then she had to have her first baby right there in Alaska. No real friends yet. They hadn't had time to make a lot of friends, and no family close by. Alaska's a long way away. So, it's just heartbreaking, some of the stories that some of these spouses have shared with us, the trials and tribulations they've suffered. And so we are trying to take all of that information in and make yet another experience that our spouses can come in and find common ground. We've heard a lot about the need for social networking. Not sure how we're going to do all of this yet, but we definitely want to be here for you and help you in any way we can as you go through all of the different phases of military life and the military career for your loved one. So thank you again for your attendance at this conference and its retreat, and I really, really hope that it's helpful. And I do want to share with you some of the pages I've talked about. If you go to usa.com/advice/military life. Now, military life has a hyphen. So it's usa.com/advice/military-life. And when you go there, you'll see all the pieces, and you can select the life event that you're really going through right now that's most pertinent to you. Thank you again for your time, and I hope you enjoy this retreat.